Hello out there in YouTube land. Matthew back here with you today. It's Monday, February 17th, President's Day. No mail run today, but this came in on Saturday, just a couple of days ago, and I've never opened it yet. I wanted to save it and open it on video here, and that way I could share it with you guys as I see it. I know exactly what this is. I know the seller is someone that I'm Mr. Harvey, Ron Harvey, that I bought several items from or lots from over the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. And this is another bargain lot. And I know it's going to be packaged well. And I know it's going to be really nice cards at the same time. There's nothing in here that's overly valuable. Um, let's see, there's something else in here. Oh, that's just the purchase. And I'll show this right quick here. Let me take out my let me fold this around here. As you can see, what I paid for this lot right here on February 8th. I paid, sorry about that. On February 8th, I paid $1.15 tax on all. This is an eBay purchase. And so this is a cheap lot, but there's some nice cards in here. Well worth the price. That I paid for it. Let me just cut the into the bubble wrap. One thing I will tell you, this guy packages as there's nobody that packages better. I don't care what it is. You buy something from this guy, he ships. He knows what he's doing. One of the best guys I've ever dealt with on a regular basis off of eBay anyway. And just so you guys know, I do as far as recycling goes, actually you can call it recycling because that's really what it is. I save these and I reuse these for when I ship cards. Like I still sell cards at times in Facebook groups and especially in buy sell and trade groups that I'm in, and because of that, save these because this is really nice, firm, and sometimes take and I'll take a bunch of TTMs like that. I decide that maybe a lot of times black Sharpie ones that I get back that I'm not really crazy about keeping for my own collection, and I'll just list a whole slew of them. Take some pictures, list a whole slew of them in a Facebook group, a buy sell and trade group, and put a couple bucks a piece on them. And guys will whatever. Sometimes I have somebody buy several. Well, when they buy like a whole lot like this, I can reuse these for down the road, and it saves me little money. And the same thing, he puts these in the middle of every single top load to prevent the top loads from scratching each other. I don't usually worry about that, but that's even nice. And even though that's thin cardboard, I save these because I can reuse those too. But anyway, this is a small lot. It is. Hold on a second here. I'll tell you exactly what it's. A lot of 6 cards. One of these is a thicker autograph card. This was all Montreal Expos. Now, for you younger viewers out there, you might not know what I'm talking about. The Washington Nationals that you now are aware of in baseball used to be known as the Montreal Expos from 1969 up till, can't remember exactly what year it was, but they were the Montreal Expos all of my childhood on up into my early years of my adult life. But anyway, they were apparently still the Montreal Expos when this card came out in 2002. And like I said, I'm not sure. I want to say 2005, but I might be wrong on that. But anyway, this is a former top prospect of the Montreal Expos. This is the main hit card that you could call it, or whatever. It's just it's a sticker auto, but it's an autograph card of Clint Everett's who was a former top prospect by the Expos. It's a pretty high draft pick. Wasn't a first round pick, I don't think. He might have been, but I don't remember exactly all that about him. I do know at one time he was in all the prospect magazines. Yes, I'm old enough that I remember the days they still came out with all these magazines for fantasy baseball, all that. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you've seen me where I've picked up older magazines like that. But anyway, this is a nice blue Sharpie signature. And like I said, he never panned out. He was a top prospect, just didn't pan out. But it's a nice autograph, nice looking card. And this is actually in a holder that was thick enough to hold a jersey card. And because of that, I'll probably take that this card is really not that thick, though it's thicker than a standard card. But I'll probably switch this out, put a jersey card, use this or save this for a relic, and get a little bit smaller holder for that autograph. But the autograph alone, one thing I will tell you that I've learned in Facebook groups that I'm in, even if it's a player that did not make it, like or didn't turn into anything special, like Evers didn't. Um, Anything that's pack pulled like this is still, you can guarantee to get a buck. So I figure I got the value of what I paid for the whole lot right there. Now right here, very nice looking card. This is from 2023 Panini. There's a couple of cards in here from 2023 Panini, and all the rest of these cards are from 2023. Recent, but the guy that I bought these from is a case buster. He searches for, he'll buy cases, he searches for case hits and stuff. Then he'll sell off anything unopened left that's not opened yet. And then he puts little lots together like this and sells them. This one here, the fireworks, is Vladimir Guerrero when he was with the Expos, and probably the last superstar to ever play for the Expos before they became the Washington Nationals. But listen, modern card, but still nice looking card. Here's one that I love, and I mean Guerrero was a great player. This is the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that you younger fans out there. This is his dad. Okay, his dad was to me should be a remembered, but most people forgot about him. But he was a superstar, rocket arm. He could hit. He had power. When he first come up, he even had some speed. But here's another guy. This was from my childhood. Andre Dawson, late 70s and most of the 80s. Montreal Expos. Great, great outfielder and all-around player. And he had his biggest offensive seasons probably came towards the later end of his career with the Chicago Cubs, but like 1987, his MVP year. But he was great. Moises Alou, another guy that's kind of forgotten about now, but great player for many years. Funny thing is, he came up with Pittsburgh, and they traded him for. Pittsburgh was competing for. They were trying to win a championship. That was a, and he come up with them, I think, in 1990. But they were trying to win a championship, and they traded him and a couple other prospects to the Montreal Expos for a veteran left-handed pitcher named Zane Smith. Now, Zane Smith did help Pittsburgh get into the playoffs in 90 and 91 and 92. He was a great pitcher, not a Cy Young type pitcher, not a staff ace, but he was a very good left-handed pitcher. And at the time, nobody thought much about it. But Alou turned into a star, and he was a star for Montreal until he got so expensive they traded him. But after that, everybody kind of always was like Pittsburgh got ripped off on that trade. Not really. Zane Smith helped them win 3 straight division titles, and you know, they made it to. They didn't make it to the Pittsburgh didn't make it to the World Series in '90. They lost to the Cincinnati Reds in the playoffs. But they did make it to the World Series. No, they lost to the Atlanta Braves in the '91 playoffs. And then they, in '92, Pittsburgh lost again to the Atlanta Braves. So, they never won a pennant, but they had some great teams in Pittsburgh back then. And when you're trying, you got a chance, at the time, Pittsburgh's outfield was Andy Van Slyke, Barry Bonds, and Bobby Bonilla. They had nowhere for this kid to play, and they needed pitching help. And when you're got a chance to win, you got to take it sometimes. But anyway, and here's another all-time great. Both of these are former Expos. Gary Carter. And anybody that grew up when I did knows full well how good of a catcher Gary Carter once was and how great of a hitter he was. Same thing, this guy, if you grew up when I did, you know very well that there was nobody in baseball that was more of a threat as far as that pitchers worried about more than except for Ricky Henderson than Tim Raines. Now, yeah, Vince Coleman come along later in the mid '80s, but Vince Coleman could not hit home runs, and Vince Coleman had a low on base percentage. He was just a guy that ran really fast, was a good base stealer, but he struggled to hit for high average, and he struggled to really hit the ball out of the infield. And Raines had some pop in his bat. So did Ricky Henderson. And Raines had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer now. Gary Carter's Hall of Famer. Andre Dawson Hall of Famer. So this lot to me, well worth $1.15. I love the Vladdy Guerrero card too. Vladdy Guerrero Senior. Um, the Alou I'll probably throw in a commons box to give to somebody else. These Hall of Famers cards, even though they're modern, I'll keep. And like I said, the autograph alone was worth the price that I paid for them. If I want to get my money back, I could always sell the autograph in an autograph group easily, get the buck back, no problem. But anyway, that was the lot. While I'm doing this video, I will share this before I close it out. This card that in my last video I shared, it was purchased back before Christmas. Didn't show up till just a few days back. One thing I did not notice, and I will tell you, I've already gave, I sent the seller that had gave me a refund already when this showed up suddenly, and I contacted him. I did tell him, that, let me know his PayPal email, and I would send him $4 because I had the card. It showed up. Well, he finally ended up getting back to me. It was like the next day after that. He didn't see my message, he said, until the following day. But he told me he appreciated it, and he just sent me an email address. So I got on my PayPal, typed it in. I sent him $4, family and friends, so that he didn't get charged, another fee to have to, because he's already been charged fees, by PayPal. And so anyway, or by eBay or whatever. But anyway, I did do that. But one thing I didn't notice this till after I'd already sent him the $4. And I kind of hate it. You don't notice it at a distance. And when I got this out, it came to me. The seller had put it into a um, why can't I think of what I'm trying to say? PSA submission holder. Card saver. I don't know. It wasn't the top load, but anyway, it's card saver. And this card, you don't notice it right here. It actually looks good. It still presents well. It'll go in my set for now, but it got creased in shipping. And I guess that's where I showed you that envelope had been, processed like a dozen times, it looked like, with all the return labels. I don't know if it's not going to show up or something, but there is a crease right dead center, and it's not showing up, but it's there clearly. When I hold it, it goes from right here at the top of his head all the way down to about his knee. And it's sad because that's a nice autograph card. But like I said, it's still, for now, that's perfect in my set. I'll look to try to get a better one later. And I think it's kind of showing up there, the little bit of a crease right in there, but anyway, it doesn't show it all on the back, just on the front. But that's the way it goes. Um, Postal Service getting horrible, horrible again. Um, and then there was that Dravecky that I haven't put it in the 88 top set yet, but I was going to, and I was going to show you this. This is a Jerry Mumphrey that came in the other day, and I turned it into a signed cut. This is a signed index card, and I just cut it the same exact size of a standard baseball card. Put it in a penny sleeve, top load. That'll go in the 88 top set for now. With the Jerry Mumphrey card. So, another one down. Anyway, that's all I've got to share with you right now. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again soon with more videos. One thing I will say, I'm going to do a video in the next day or two, and I'm going to be discussing SGC and PSA, and a lot that's going on right now with both both. Well, PSA now owns SGC, even though PSA says that they operate independently from PSA, and I don't really know how that uh, how that works. That would almost, to me, that would be like if Target bought out Walmart, but then said, well, Walmart operates separate from us. We're two different companies, even though we own them. This does not make sense, but there's a lot going on. There's a guy that I'm subscribed to that has a channel on YouTube named Billy Ballgame, and he did a video not that long ago talking about some problems, some changes with SGC, different things. And there's another guy that I subscribe to named Chris that he's called, if you want to look him up, his handle is something, and I'm not positive on this, but it's um, baseball card collector, investor, uh, dealer, something like that. But anyway, if you ever, because he always says that in his videos. So if you've ever seen a video of him, you know who I'm talking about. But he did a video talking about so many people sending in cards that you really shouldn't be sending in to get graded. And he was talking about the differences in the grading standards, and I thought that would be a good video for me to something good for me to do a video on, because there has been a lot of changes in the grading card industry, and as somebody that has been around long enough to remember the card crash of the late 90s, where the hobby just bottomed out after years of just prices going up, 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 up. Uh, values of cards going up, 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 and then all of a sudden you got to the late 90s and it was just like boom, the entire, hobby just fell off a cliff. And it really started falling off a cliff after the players' strike in 1994. And it just continued because of just complete overproduction of products. And what you have right now going on is a lot of overproduction. I mean, they say that they limit how much they produce nowadays, but trust me, right now we've got way oversaturation on modern cards. You've got companies putting out stuff way larger numbers than there are people collecting today. And when you do that, and you do it year after year after year, you're setting yourself up to have the same thing happen that happened back in the 1990s. The only difference is that some people say today, well, the only licensed company is Topps. See, this is not licensed. This is like Donruss, or well, it's Panini, but they're not officially licensed with Major League Baseball. Uh, but they, so that's why you don't see the logos on the batting helmet or anything. You don't, like here. This card is from 2002. This was put out by Upper Deck, and so that autograph was. So you see that he's got the old Expos logo on his cap on the card, but none of these right here were officially licensed by Major League Baseball. Now that means they can't use the team logos. They can, however, if they're licensed, that they've got an agreement with the players' union, they can create baseball cards. And you could make baseball cards, and as long as you got permission, like I said, an agreement, some kind of deal with the players' union to use the players' images, you can make baseball cards. There's really no thing Major League Baseball could do about it to stop it, as long as you're not using their logos. But at any rate, there's a lot going on in the industry, and I hate to say it, but PSA buying out SGC, and then there you got CGS or CGC or whatever they call themselves today. They change their name every year or so, and there's a lot of people that are using them now. But I got to tell you, I don't care how much somebody might say they like their cases, or they think that they're better at grading than as far as like more accurate and consistent in grading, as far as the you know number grade they give cards. If you're constantly changing your name from CGC, CGS, whatever, it's just every time. I mean, I don't know how many years they've been around, but I know I've been around a long time, and I thought there was all these different. every time I would see a card in a slab with one of those companies, I would think it was honestly a company that had went out of one of the companies, the grading companies that went out of business back in the early 2000s. I didn't realize at first that a CGS was actually the same company as uh, CGC, but they used to call themselves CGS, and then before that they called themselves something else, and before that they called themselves something else. And I'm like, if you're going to keep changing your name, you're never going to gain credibility with, diehard collectors or longtime collectors because, you know, how, what good do we, okay, let's say, for example, let's say this autograph here, I sent it in. This is just hypothetical, but say I sent this in to get it authenticated with, or whatever, or graded. Let's just say this is a card and like this right here, and I sent it in to get graded. Okay, we'll just use an example. All right. Um, if I send it into CGC or CGS or whatever they call themselves now, even if it gets a 10 in their, in their grade scale, if I go to resell it down the road, do you think I'm going to get even if they're dead on and it's a 10 Gem Mint 10 card, do you think I'm going to get anywhere near Gem Mint 10 value when I try to resell that? I don't care if it's 50 years from now. No, I'm not. I'm not going to get anything close to it. And you know why? Because for one thing, half the people that collect in the hobby never heard of them. Number two, if they're constantly changing their name, then why would I want a whole card in a holder with CGS on it or CGC or whatever they are right now if a year from now they're going to be calling themselves GGB or GMC or whatever, because they're every time you turn around they're changing their name and they're changing this and changing that, changing their slabs, and it causes their older stuff to just look like to somebody that's never really bought anything from them. They just looked at it as a junk grading company, junk, and you'd be lucky to get. Usually, a card will sell more in raw condition than it will be in a graded slab if it's graded through a company that is not considered legitimate. So to me, right now, with Beckett out of business, there's nothing but PSA and SGC, and sadly, I prefer SGC, but SGC is cheaper. SGC to me has prettier slabs, but PSA has dominated the market for years. And yeah, it's possible that somebody gains ground on them, but there's a reason they bought SGC. And if too many people keep going to SGC because they're cheaper or because they think their slabs are prettier, well, if PSA owns the company now, even if they're operating separately, what's to stop PSA from possibly in the future saying, you know what, SGC is starting to take away too much of our business, so we're just going to close them down, absorb them since we own them already, lay off all those guys, and force everybody in the hobby to come only to us. That's what could happen. Now, there could be another company, though, that could rise up. PSA has been around, for a long time, but so is SGC. Beckett was around for a long time, but I mean, anything can happen. There's, PSA's almost got a monopoly now, and in a way they do. So, but anyway, I'm thinking about doing a video talking about that, talking about some other things about the changes in their grading scale, both SGC and PSA compared to before, and what it's doing to the hobby, what it's doing to card values, and also PSA changing their labels and just little things. Is causing the values of older cards and the grading scale that they're doing is causing the value of older cards to, that were graded to lose value because now, and I'll explain all that in the next video, but I'm going to do that in the next couple of days. So stay tuned. And, you know, anyway, I hope you enjoyed sharing this video, just sharing, this small pickup because, stuff like this is cool. I'm always looking for bargains. To me, that was a bargain. You know, I'll take an autographed card and a bunch of Hall of Famers any day, even if they're not worth much, for a buck, for a buck for the whole lot. I'll take that. And, you know, and I'm always thrilled, when I make another edition. We're up, it was 529 cards autographed for the regular set now, and it was 85 autograph cards for the traded set. I'm pretty sure that was the numbers I wrote down the night before last, so thought I'd share that with you. We've really made a lot of ground on that. You know, 700, 92 card regular set and 132 card traded set, and you know, you're trying to get them all autographed. You know, that's the job. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Be back again soon with more videos.